Oh,
What's going on? What's going on, man? We back, man. Sorry, last week I was not here. Was sitting at the eye doctor watching y'all. But from the bleachers, man, I'm C. Paris. Welcome to another episode of Squad Creative Podcast. Here with my co-host and a special guest, man. I'm gonna let my co-host introduce himself.
Mike T is the second half of Squad Creative Podcast. And before we get to the special guest, Game Changer, you got a share button in the corner. I think you can hear your audience.
Share.
On the top, it should be like on your top left or something on the screen.
It should say broadcasting.
So we in here with
live.
Gam3chang3r Clothing, man. Live interview, YouTube, man. If y'all watching, man, y'all can head over to the YouTube and catch the entire interview. You know, we about to just sit up in here, chop it up about this t-shirt business, man, and clothing lines and life in general, you know. So tap in.
Yeah.
Okay, I say stream this to your audience. It's cool. I ain't, cause it's telling me I got to sign in and all that. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, man, let's get to it then. So, brother, introduce yourself, please.
My name Brandon Parsley, founder of Gam3chang3r Clothing. Coming out of Philly right now.
So, you from Philly, huh?
Yes, sir.
Game changer, man.
Well, I was born in South Jersey, Salem, New Jersey, like 45 minutes from here. South of here. Moved around a little bit, moved up North Jersey to Newark, New Jersey with my mom and my sister, and then we came to Philly.
Yeah, how long you been in Philly?
I'm 37 now, so I think I got here when I was like 19, 20.
Oh yeah, that's home.
Yeah, definitely.
That's home. So, man, I wanted to ask you, Game Changer, man. Talk about the name, and then what's the significance of the threes instead of the E's?
So the reason I spell Game Changer with the threes instead of the E's, because when I first made the brand up, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And then it came across me that I should start a brand, and I was just coming up with a name. And it was just like Game Changer. It popped in my mind. So I said, I can use Game Changer, but a lot of people in the world use Game Changer as well. So I said, what can I do to be different from all the other Game Changers? So I said, I'm going to switch the E's to threes. Mm-hmm. And the threes really represent your thoughts, your speech, and your actions. Because once you change the way you think, once you change the way you talk, and once your actions change, you change. See, all the game changers in the world, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, the Huey P. Newtons, the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, they didn't think like the rest of the society. Their actions wasn't like the rest of the society, and they spoke different, and that's how they was able to change. So it all ties into becoming a game changer, changing the way you think, you know, changing the way you move, changing your actions. So that's what the threes represent in Game Changer.
Period. So you do a lot of motivational stuff, man. You recommend books and all this, man. So as they say, reading is fundamental, man. Let's hear your outlook on that and why you go so hard about reading and motivating society as a whole instead of just selling clothes.
Reading to me, it changed the way I look at the world. Period. It opened my mind up to new possibilities and new opportunities that I can create. And once I started to read, I understood it was more to life than what they was telling me. And then I happened to come across this podcast, and it was this rich man on there, and he said in his house he has no TV, but he has 1,000 books in his bookshelf, and he read
Right.
all of them. He said, if you want to be rich, you got to get rid of the TV and start reading more books. And that's what I did. I don't own no TV, and just read. You know what I'm saying? So reading is. They say knowledge is power, but I believe that's a lie, because applied knowledge is power. You can have the knowledge, but if you don't apply it, it's no good.
Period.
So, that's why I started to read, and I encourage everybody to read, because they say if you put $1 million in a book and tell somebody to read it, it could be $1 million worth of cash in there or $1 million worth of information in there, and they won't pick the book up. They say you want to hire a person, put it inside the book, because they ain't gonna pick it up. And I took that, man. I just started to read. I started to read everything that I was interested in, everything that I wanted to learn and know about. And like I said, it just opened my mind up to a different world that I didn't know exists before I started to read.
What's your favorite book right now?
My favorite book is this book right here. It's kind of big. Oh no, I got another one. So my two favorite books right now is this one right here. It's called Science of the Mind by Ernest Holmes. And basically it tells you about your mind and how the mind operates and what parts of the mind, and it tells you about you, who you are as a person. It's a big book. As you can see, when I read, I highlight everything. So I read every page in the book, and I read it. I read it often. So that's one book I read, and another book I read is Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramanasa Uganda. I picked this book up because Steve Jobs gave this book to everybody when he passed away. Whoever came to his funeral, he gave this book to. And once I picked it up, it really changed my life.
What's the name of that book?
Autobiography of a Yogi.
Autobiography of a Yogi.
I never knew nothing about meditation until I read that book. And once I started to meditate, that's when things really changed for me. I started to sit still with my eyes closed to the outside world. And I just started to look within myself. And I really started to monitor my thoughts. Because our thoughts play a big role in our life.
Definitely so.
And once I started to monitor my thoughts, and once I started to understand that I control the way I think, and basically I'm in control of everything. But sometimes we let our thoughts take control, and we give energy to the wrong thoughts.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So once I started to think more positive, it takes the same energy to think positive than to think negative. It takes the same energy. But we tend to think negative all the time instead of thinking positive. So once I started to think more positive, it really changed everything.
Yeah, I'm at a point in my life right now where I understand truly what you're saying. Like, I was just quitting the t-shirt game last week,
Yeah.
So I understand exactly where you're coming from. Some years back, man, I did the meditation stuff, and it was so peaceful. Like, I would put on the water sounds, the nature sounds, and just close my eyes and just zone out. Like, it truly makes a difference in your life, and it's something that just hearing you say this is just a reminder to me that that's something I need to get back to.
Yeah, we gotta be. Meditation is so powerful because we're always on the go. We never sit still, and we act off what's going on in our mind, and our thoughts is running. We get about 1,000 thoughts, more than 1,000 thoughts a day, and we trying to react off of every thought, and that's why our life is not going the way we want, because we were reacting off of every thought and not focusing on one particular thing.
Period.
So yeah.
Oh, your mom's in the audience. Shout out, Miss
That's
Parsons.
my mom. My mom tapping in.
How you doing? Appreciate you for coming through.
What's up, Mom?
Yeah, man, that's love right there, man.
Yeah, my mom always showing love.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you, brother. Like, so I've been like, this has been a long time coming. People don't even know the stuff we go through behind the scenes to make these interviews happen. This was a long time coming, and you know, we tried this a year ago or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, it's like one of them situations where everything happens for a reason. So I feel like, So I feel like we're gonna get that one out of this one, and I already feel it revving up to be that one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like one of the things that attracted me to your content is that you stay happy, bro. You stay positive. You stay pushing the line on being a better person in general. And it's deeper than just selling a t-shirt or your shorts or whatever you're selling, man. And I think that gains a lot of respect, and I've watched your numbers grow. You know, I've watched your numbers grow over time because the stuff that you're saying, the words that you bring to the people, a lot of people need to hear because their everyday life is not hearing them. And so just that, as I say, man, I'm going to give you your flowers today for that, for just being that person to so many people. Because I've watched your growth, brother.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, today. Before we even got on live, I had told him a couple of days I felt like I was tired. I wasn't going to come on the show. I wasn't going to go to work. But then I seen the commercial with him on it. Then I seen all the stuff that he was doing and pushing to the community. It was enough to make me get up and go to work like, yeah, today ain't today to just chill and relax. I'm going to get to it by any means necessary.
Yeah, so, man. Feel it.
You've been in here since 2017?
Yeah, since 2017, on and off. And I really started to go full throttle in about 2019. Cause man, I had a friend and we was in business together. And he had a t-shirt truck where we would sit out West Philly, and he had like a trailer where he would print t-shirts, like rest in peace t-shirts. People would come up, like we sitting on the block, and we had a food truck, and he had this trailer that you buy from like Home Depot or something, and he hooked it up on the back of his truck, and he would pull over on the side of the road, and he got the heat press in there, he got the cameo in there, he got everything in there, the vinyl, and we just sitting out there selling clothes. I posted a video a few times where I got my clothes outside on a rack, and we just selling everything from clothes to soap to heat printing t-shirts up, rest in peace t-shirts, and whatever anybody need a t-shirt they want done, they come to the trailer, get it done, come back in a few hours, the t-shirt will be done. So I had him start printing my stuff up, and he was just telling me like, man, like you should go all the way in with your brand because it's hot. The logo I got now wasn't the logo I had in the beginning. So like I had bought 10 t-shirts and I slapped the old logo on there, and I was selling them. And he was like, man, like, yo, you should go full throttle. So we had a falling out. He went his way, I went my way. And then I bought all my own equipment, from my heat press to my laptop to the hat press to the Cricut machine. I mean, I bought everything, lights, mannequins, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just hopped off the porch and just said, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And slowly but surely, I just started to use social media as my vehicle to get my message out there. At first, I was scared to get on camera and to talk because I used to think, man, people not gonna listen to me and people not gonna, respect what I'm saying, or people not gonna support me. That's the beliefs I had in my head, but I got over it and I just started to get on camera and just to share my story, what I was going through, what I wanted to do in life, and I just started to push it. And it just started to take off. I wasn't making the money that I wanted to make, but I would get 1,000 DMs from people just telling me that, yo, bro, what you doing? You inspiring me, like you motivating me to start my own. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm looking for the money part. Like, man, where the money coming at? Like, I got bills to pay. Like, when is this gonna take off? And I was reading something, and it was just like, man, the guy said he'd rather have impact than income. So I was like, damn, that's deep. Some days I still beat myself up like, man, I need the money, like we all do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, why I ain't getting the support like I'm supposed to get? Or why people ain't buying my stuff? And I try to remind myself it ain't about the money. It's not about the money. It's about helping people change their lives.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Nipsey said the highest human act is to inspire. And if somebody could come to you for inspiration, it could change the whole trajectory of your life and their life. You know what I mean? So that's what I started to do. I'm just like, man, I'm just keep on being positive, keep on motivating, keep on inspiring. And that's where I've been at ever since. You know what I mean? So
period, man. I feel that, man. Like, it's when you look at the numbers, you look at the dollar signs and all that, it's like one hand is barely none, but then you'll get them little comments where you didn't touch somebody's life, man.
Right.
In those moments, man, those are the things that make a difference. That's one thing I love about this podcast, doing this show, because just like you never know who you're going to touch or who you're going to reach, man. We don't be having the greatest numbers, the biggest numbers, but the love we get from this is amazing. You know what I mean? So I understand like that. You're a big advocate of Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Think and Grow Rich was one of the first books I read that got me on my journey.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I started to read Think and Grow Rich, and the things it said in Think and Grow Rich, I started to apply it. It told me to write down a few things and start repeating them to yourself. Mm-hmm. And they got this chapter. It's chapter 4. It's called auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is self-suggestion. You giving you're implanting a thought on your mind for your mind to take over and to act on it. But you have to repeat it to yourself over and over. You have to basically brainwash yourself to believe these things.
Right.
And that's what I started to do. I started to repeat these words to myself every day. And I started to believe it. You know what I'm saying? And really, I really feel like it can happen now.
Mm-hmm.
And like Think Grow Rich is a powerful book if you do the things it say do, like meditate 10 minutes a day, think about your goals, visualize your goals. Mm-hmm. It's a powerful book that I suggest everybody should read if they're trying to be an entrepreneur.
I actually have it in my phone, man. I read it some years ago.
You gotta. It's one of them books you gotta read every day. Like you gotta read. I started to listen to Bob Proctor too, and Bob Proctor used to reference that book, and Earl Nightingale used to reference this book, and I started to listen to him, and Bob Proctor was saying the same thing. He would every morning he would write out, "I am so happy and grateful that I am whatever you want to become." He would write it out in the morning. He would write it in the afternoon. He would repeat himself. He would repeat it to himself all day, every day, until that was the only dominating thought in his mind. And that thought
What is that?
over.
It's called the 3x3 or 3.
I think it's like 3-6-9. You write it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you read it and you repeat it to yourself all day, every day. It's kind of like hypnotizing your mind.
Yeah.
Because we got a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the outer guard to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is pure intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could, and one of the ways to tap into your subconscious mind is through repetition. Repetition is the path to progression.
Mm-hmm.
By repeating something over and over and over and over again until it puts the conscious mind to sleep and deals directly with the subconscious mind.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. So you work on speaking into affirmations.
Affirmations, positive affirmations.
Yeah. Man,
like you can't. One thing I heard Neville Goddard says, you have to live from the end. You have to live as though you are already what you desire to be. You have to bring the future to you now. You can't wait and say, in 10 years, I'm going to be this and that. No, you have to be that now. You have to act like that person now. And as you act like that person now and walk in faith, it hardens into a fact. It becomes your reality.
Period. So when you started your brand, let me word this question right. How did you figure being a motivational speaker per se would sell clothing?
How did I repeat that last question you said?
How did you, when you started a clothing brand, what made you know that being motivational, being like a motivational speaker would sell clothing?
I didn't know. I didn't know nothing when I started this.
Yeah.
When I say I didn't know, because I came from the streets.
Yeah.
I was selling drugs. I had jobs here and there, but I always left the jobs because I always felt like a job wasn't for me.
I feel it.
And I'm sorry to my mom if she's still on here, but she always used to say, you better go get a job and go get a career and work 40 years so you could. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. I can come up with an idea and you know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't, I felt like a job wasn't for me, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Period.
I just started the brand. And as I started to build on what I had and I started to do my research, I said, oh man, like motivational. And I could put, because first I wasn't a motivational speaker. I was just selling my clothes.
Yeah.
But as my mind opened up more, I started to speak more positive. It was more positive than the clothes.
Right.
Now the clothes was like the back burner, and I was speaking more positive. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to sell the clothes, but I wanted to get my message out there more.
So you ended up doing some work for George White, man. Can you tell us how that came to be?
I was following George for a while. And one day he followed me back, and I ain't think nothing of it. I'm like, all right, cool. He followed me back. And then I get a message in my DM. He like, bro, I like what you're doing. I've been following you for a while. I want you to be a part of my team. So I'm like, he's like, if you're interested in it, then hit me back and we could work something out. So I hit him back and we talking. I'm like, man, I'm going on tour and I like what you're doing. I want you to be, what do you call it? The merch manager of my team. So I'm like, that sounds dope. You know what I mean? Like George doing what he doing. He's a good motivational speaker. He growing. He got a nice audience. People rocking with him. He was like, I need you to do some t-shirts for me for my tour coming up. Can you do them for me? So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is gonna help me get my name out there, and you know what I mean. I'm working with you. Like, yeah, I do them. So I wound up doing the shirts for him. And he paid me, you know what I mean? And we still keep in contact. Whenever he got projects he needed me to do, I still, fulfill them for him, man. But that definitely was a dope experience, you know what I mean? And that was like, I met celebrities and stuff, but that was one of my biggest jobs I did for somebody. Besides myself.
Yeah. So was that your moment? Was like, man, I'm here when you got that DM?
Yeah, that's when I felt like, oh man, like I if he like what I'm doing, then like, man, I know other people like what I'm doing. So I'm like, I'm doubling down and I'm gonna go hard. And ever since that day, I've just been pounding. I've just been going hard on all platforms. Like I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Clapper, fan base. I'm on every platform and I'm just trying to get my brand out there to as many people as I can.
So how you managing all that?
I'm about to ask. That's a lot.
Because I take one video, whatever video I post on Instagram, I just post them on all platforms.
Yeah, man.
Like I don't make different videos for each platform. I just post one video, and that one video I make it in my phone so it's no watermark, and then I just post it on every platform.
Yeah, man.
Same captions, same hashtags, and all that. Some people say it don't work. It works for me because I grew to almost 30,000 on TikTok. I remember I was just at 1,100 on Instagram. Now I'm at 13K. On Facebook, I'm at like 20K. On YouTube, I'm almost got 1,000 subscribers. So it works for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I just started to post 3, 4, 5 times a day. And one day on Instagram, the video took off, and I just was like getting all this love. But I'm like, man, the money about to come in. Yeah, so man, yeah. But I'm just grinding, man. For real, I'm just grinding.
Your grind is gonna outshine this short time that you're waiting. Right now, it seems like an eternity till you get to that money, but it's gonna catch up. It's definitely gonna catch up. The legwork that you're putting in, it's gonna surpass them like 2 to 5 year blow-ups. If you guys know what I mean by that, that's some overnight successes that just dwindle away.
Right.
You'll never be a household name.
That's how you talk about me in my face, though.
Yeah.
That's how you do me, man.
Right here. I wear white and black on the day I wear white and black. Like you took a look. No, man. You looking through the lens. So let me read some of these comments.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to T. Johnson. Greatly appreciate you being in here.
Appreciate you.
Greatly appreciate you. Before I go any further, we do this every week, y'all. So if this is your first time here, please subscribe, follow us, and share the videos. We bring everybody, no matter how big or how small, everybody comes to the platform and we talk about everybody's journey.
And I need you to tell a friend, man. We're here every Thursday. Don't forget it. You never know who's going to slide through and be in that seat, man.
There you go. Coffee Power Homes. Find a way to apply it to the different formats.
What's up, Liz?
Yeah.
Long time no see. We did an interview with her. That was a great one. Should bring you back. It's been a long time.
Yes. I do tweet tags depending on the platform's main audience. Older gen on Facebook, younger gen language, and on threads, etc.
Right.
Yeah, man. So I just been grinding, man. Cause it's 8 billion people in this world. And if I could sell one, I could sell a million. But I just got to keep going until I get to that million.
Period.
You know what I mean? The law of averages says behind every no there's 10 yeses. You just got to keep going until you get to that yes. You can't stop. You know, most people hear no and they get discouraged, not knowing the person behind the person that said no would have said yes if you just took a couple more steps.
Mm.
Yeah, man. I just watched the interview with Wallow yesterday, and he said, "Ask for the money," and a lot of us don't ask for the money.
That's a fact.
I think that yeah, we got to keep going. It's one of them just
keep going.
pushing. Period.
Yeah, because it's to me, it's only two answers: it's yes or no. Either you're gonna do it until it get done, or you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. Period.
To be honest, it's all yes in this universe. It's all yes in this world. Everything is yes. But like I said, people get discouraged when they hear no and stop.
Yeah,
Like it's
man.
nothing. Everything is possible. It's nothing impossible.
Period. And then I always heard growing up, man, almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. So, which means that don't even matter. It's not relevant to that yes or that no, man. You know, I feel what you're saying, man. It's gonna be there, man. And I'm glad this interview is going the way it's going, because there's a lot of us that's watching that's gonna see this that are being discouraged by the numbers. And myself included, because someday I'll be like, man, I just posted 17 times. I got 6 views. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, you know, I understand it, man. I'm glad this conversation is going the way it's going.
Once I stopped worrying about the views and the likes and the shares, because think about this: if you get 100 people to view your story, imagine you being in a room full of 100 people and you teaching them.
In reality, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people in reality. That's 100 people in the room. Even if you get 100 views, if you sitting in front of 100 people and they're wanting to learn something from you, that's a lot of people.
It really is.
50 people is a lot of people. 10 people in a room wanting to learn something from you is a lot of people.
Period.
So we get distracted because we're so trained. Oh, I want to go viral, or I need 1 million followers. You don't need none of that. You don't need none of that. If you could save one life, you did it. You did your job.
Period.
If you could save one life, you did your job.
Period.
You fulfilled your purpose.
Period.
So once I started to look at it differently, man, I ain't worrying about the views. I ain't worrying about the likes. I'm just gonna be consistent. I'm just gonna keep on putting out my content, and whoever it reach, they gonna come. And that's what I've been doing. Like, and whoever like it, they gonna come. Like, I'm doing what I love to do. I'm not trying to be nobody else. I'm not trying to act like I'm somebody else. I'm just doing what I love to do. You know what I mean? And I'm just documenting my journey. And the people that is for, they're gonna come. You know what I mean? So
real deal.
Yes.
Real deal.
I ask you, do you remember what your first design was for your clothing brand?
Yes, I do. I got it up on my page. So like I said, the logo I got now wasn't my original logo. So it was just a GC right here on the chest. Like, you know how the polo t-shirt, the polo shirts are with the polo horse right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With just a regular t-shirt with my logo right here. And I bought 10 of them. I paid somebody $25 to do my logo, and I paid somebody to print the t-shirts up for me before I had all my own equipment. And I took them 10 shirts. It took me a while to sell all 10.
Yeah.
But I was selling them. I'm like, oh man, I'm selling t-shirts. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yep, it was a logo, a GC logo right here on the chest. That was my first design.
It had to been a rewarding feeling. You know what I'm saying?
It was. Yeah, it was. And then I came to a point where I made a conscious decision and said, I'm getting out the streets. And this is around the time I got stabbed twice. And I got 55 stitches in my left hand. And to this day, my left pinky is still numb, and I can't really, like you see, I can't really bend it. So it's like that. So I had made a conscious decision to leave the streets alone, because it's only three things: you're gonna end up dead, in jail, or you know what I'm saying. So it's like, man, I already been to jail. I've been upstate. I've sit in the county. Most of my juvenile years was in juvenile facilities, so I did that already. And by the grace of God, He kept me, and I'm still alive. So I said, man, I got to get out the streets.
Yeah,
so I said, I'm going to go hard with my clothing brand, and I'm going to do Uber. Like, I don't care if I go broke. I don't care. I'm going to die doing what I'm doing. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I just been pushing my brand, doing Uber, and just praying that it take off, man.
So Uber, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to talk about that. So you just did 30 days, $300 a day for 30 days. Uber. I want to ask about how that turned out for you, one, and then also this includes, so you ride around with your gear, with your clothes and your core. Explain how you pitching that to these customers.
So for the first question, the 30 days for $300 a day, I got midway through, and then I had to go to the hospital. So it really messed up the flow of things. I was in the hospital for a few days, and I was sick. So that really took me off of that journey right there. But it was going smooth until I had to go to the hospital.
Man, are you doing better now? I saw
Yeah. I'm better now. I always had, like when I was younger, I had a trach. My mom said it was an extra piece of skin on my airway, so they had to give me a trach. This was when I was a baby, you know what I mean? So I always had throat problems. And I got to get my tonsils removed. I just couldn't, my tonsils were swole, and I couldn't swallow my own saliva. And I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink nothing. So I took myself to the hospital because I was in pain. Like I couldn't swallow, I couldn't eat, I tried to swallow my own spit, and I was like choking, like trying to get it down. I couldn't get it down. So I went to the hospital, they treated me. Stayed there for a few days. I got better in the hospital. They sent me home with some antibiotics and stuff like that. But the second question, you know, when I'm in the car and the passengers get in the car, you know who to talk to and who not to talk to.
Right. Yeah. Energy.
You know what I'm saying? So I go off of people's energy. And if they got good energy and we have a conversation, I introduce them to my brand. I let them know what my mission is. And I just, ask them if they say, what do you sell, or what do you, like, I tell them what I got. I'm like, man, I got some shirts in the car. I got some shirts in the trunk if you want to check them out. Most of the time people say, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. People gave me, I got $100 and something from one rider to put towards my brand.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I just go off of energy, man. That's how I really bring my brand up. If the energy good, then I bring it up. If it's not, I just, I fall back and I chill.
I want to do a little role play, man, because this is for them people that don't have the confidence to just get out and hit the streets. And we all believe we got to be on this internet because it's where it's at. But for me, I'm a people person. I'm gonna run my mouth to whoever, whenever, however. And Mike, he over there smirking because he know I'm not lying. He know I'm not lying. But like, so I didn't jump in the back of your ride, right? I'm trying to go to the train station or whatever, to the bus station. And feel my energy, man. What you gonna say to sell me that T-shirt? Right now, you got the mesh shorts. So how you gonna sell me them shorts?
Let me see what I would say. Then you gonna put me on the spot. Let Let me see what I would say. Damn, how the conversation going? Now, let me see how much.
Come on, together, man. What's going on, man? Who got the best Phillies out here? Who got the best steak sandwich out here? You know, all the stuff, man. We just chopping it. You know, good energy, man. Real cool. We talking like we went to high school together or something. Yeah. So how we gonna introduce that short sale?
Let me see. Let me see. This is what I say to him. So I say, I got this.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
No, because it's a lot. It's a lot before I get into my pitch.
I understand.
I tell this is what I say. I said, man, do you believe we live in a dream world? And they be like, what you mean? I'm like, I believe we live in a dream world because everything we use today was designed and created by somebody else.
Period.
We spend all our time, all our energy, all our money on other people's designs and creation, but we never design and create nothing ourselves and give it to the world. So they like, damn. I'm like, so I started this brand in 2017, and what kind of brand? I got a motivational brand. My mission and my message is to motivate and to inspire humanity as a whole to live in your dream and not somebody else's dream. And they say, what's the name of it? I'm like, man, it's called Gam3chang3r Clothing. I'm like, all right, what you got? I got some mesh shorts, I got some t-shirts, I got hoodies. I'm like, would you like to check it out if you can? You know what I mean? Sometimes they say yeah, sometimes they're like, what's your website? I check it out on the website. Or you on Instagram? Then I give them my Instagram, I give them my socials, you know what I mean? So yeah. So
a lot of times that could be daunting though, right?
Huh?
A lot of times that could be daunting, right?
Yeah.
On that feedback from the
yeah.
You don't know,
Yeah. But you, and I do it because you got, how you gonna get your brand out there if you don't talk?
Yeah.
And word of mouth is one of the most powerfulest ways to get your brand out there besides the internet. Like before the internet, people had to use word of mouth.
Mm-hmm. So if they tell you what's your website, I check it out on the website, and you got the product right here, do you push the line or do you
I said I got some t-shirts in the back. Like this morning, for example, some guy get in the car, some guy I took to the airport a few times. I'm like, I don't think he remembered the first time I told him, so I ran into him again. I said, damn, I got these t-shirts these shirts right here I just released. I said, I got some in the front if you would like to check them out. He was just like, what's your website? Some people say, yeah, they want to check them out. Some people say no. Just like probably a few months back, I had posted a picture of this white guy. He had brought a hoodie. He was inside the Uber. You know what I mean? We was talking. And I'm like, man, I got some hoodies in the back. You want to check them out? He's like, yeah, how much is that? I'm like, they $50. He's like, all right, you got a large? I'm like, yeah. I gave him a large. He gave me a $50 bill. You know what I mean? He followed me on Instagram, and he been supporting me ever since. So
I remember that video. Yeah.
See, man, I had cops buy stuff off of me. I never had a cop buy nothing off of me. I had cops put me in jail, put me in handcuffs, search me for drugs. I never had a cop buy nothing off of me until one day this cop bought some shorts off me, man. It blew my mind, bro. That's how I knew, like, this is what I need to do. Like,
was he in uniform when he came up to you?
He was in uniform, bro. I was on Gerard Ave, and I had cut in front of the trolley, but I thought the trolley was going to stop.
Yeah.
But I had cut in front of the trolley, and the cop was behind me, pulled me over, and I had a box, I had my shorts in my box, like sitting on the passenger seat. Mm-hmm. He like, what's in the box? I'm like, man, I got my shorts, and this is my brand. Like, your shorts? I'm like, yeah, I got clothing, man. Let me check them out. Boy, bought a pair of shorts, man, for $40, man. Blew my mind, bro. Blew my mind.
But that's the moments, man, where you know, like, it's not what it used to be. You know?
Yeah. Blew my mind, bro.
My background is similar to yours, brother. So, I understand fully what you're talking about right now. That's dope, though. when you just sold to the police, man, that's one of the moments. Like,
Yeah, bro.
You I can see you just driving off and late 2 hours later, you still smiling and shit.
Yeah. It was so crazy. I happened to be on the phone with so I was on before I got on Instagram heavy, I was on TikTok and I would just push my brain on TikTok. So I had this mentor, he was kind of like a mentor at the time, and he was telling me all the tricks and trades of TikTok and how to grow and what trending sounds to use, what hashtags to use, what editing programs to use like CapCut. He was just walking me through the ropes and helping me build my brand. And I was having to talk to him at the time. I was on the phone with him at the time. He's like, who that? I'm like, man, it's the cops. He's like, all right, just stay on the phone. Let's just make sure nothing happens.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna buy some shorts off me, man.
Yeah,
the reason I picked clothing, because to me, it's three things in this world that people need forever. That's food, shelter, and clothing. People always need clothes, and you can get rich off of clothes. And you, like I said, you don't need 8 billion people. You need 1,000 people to support you. 100 people. If you get 1,000 people to support and buy $100 sweatsuit off of you, like how much you need?
Right.
If you get 10,000 people to buy $100 sweatsuit off of you, how much you need? It's 8 billion people in this world. You can't get 10,000 people. Now, no matter how long it takes, can you do it?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the mindset I took on. Like, man, it's 8 billion people in here. I'm going to walk. If I got to get one by one, I'm going to walk these people down until I get to my destination.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Right. That unfiltered determination, bro. You're going to hard. But so when you get your designs done, like the one that you have on, I know you just dropped the mesh shorts. You're outsourcing or you're sending out. How are you choosing your manufacturers for that?
When I first got started, I was doing everything myself. I really wasn't outsourcing. Now I'm going to China and I'm going to Pakistan. Like this shirt, this French terry shirt I got on, it came from Pakistan. The nylon shorts that I just dropped, they came from Pakistan. Before I got my manufacturers, I was doing everything myself. But now that I got my manufacturers, I went on Alibaba.com.
So it wasn't one of the ones that was in your inbox, like, "Hey, hit me up." Well, we gonna
that was after I found my man and I started to post about clothes. Now they just flood my DM. Like I gotta block them. Like I'm telling you, I block like 20 manufacturers a day, bro.
Hey, he sound like me, bro.
Like, bro, I don't want my social media to be full of manufacturers. I need real people. Like you want to. I already got my manufacturers. Like I block so many manufacturers a day, man. There's nothing.
Man, you don't even understand, bro. Man, how many times have I said that on this very show? If you could see my blacklist, you'd be like, "Damn."
Oh, manufacturers, bro.
On the street and around the block.
Man, I don't play that, man. Because it's one of them things, man. Don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah. I ain't asked for you, so why you hit man?
For real, bro.
Yep. So now I got my 2 manufacturers. I got my one in China and I got my one in Pakistan. That's who I deal with. I ain't dealing with nobody new because I like their work and I ain't get burnt. I ain't get scammed. They was honest with me. They give me samples for free. And you know what I mean? I'm just gonna stick with them. So
yeah, man.
That last one ending, because a lot of people don't even know. Like with people coming at you and asking you, "Do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need that?" It's almost like, how can you trust anybody? Like, but you just answered that without me even having to ask that question.
Yeah, man. I want to read this comment right here from T. Johnson. It can only take one person to catapult you to where God wants you to be when you need to be there, period.
And I like that because I just heard something. We're closer to our dreams than we think we are. We're only one yes away, but we don't live like we don't live like we're one yes away. Right. We don't act like we're one yes away. We're only one yes away, one person away, one video away, one t-shirt away from everything changing.
Period. And that's real, man.
I mean, you start. My fault. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just saying that's real, man. That's I try to tell myself, but some days is those days where I doubt it.
But, because we're human.
Run away.
Yeah, we human. Yeah, you never know. And once you start saying like, damn, I'm only 1 yes away, you'll start looking for more opportunities. Like more opportunities start presenting itself. Like, damn, is this it? Like every day I wake up like, yeah, today gonna be the day when my video's gonna go, it's gonna go and my sales gonna go hand. Like every day I keep that mindset. Like, man, I'm just 1 yes away, man. I'm 1 yes away.
Speaking of that, bro, you be going to Target. Tell us about your clothing being a Target. Tell us about that.
My what? I didn't hear you.
When you go to your videos about your clothes being a Target, tell us about that.
Oh, so that's a little skit I put together. You know, just being creative, thinking outside the box, manifesting, whatever you want to call it, visualizing, just putting myself in places where I want to be. You know what I mean? And just really like trying to be creative, trying to be different, trying to stand out from the crowd. You know what I mean? Some people think it's real. Some people be like, oh man, good promotion. You know what I mean? So I'm
going to tell you. So the very first time I seen you do that, that was my decision. I was like, because I watched people for a long time before I reach out. The very first one you did it, I said, man, I got to get him in here. That was what initially made me want to sit down and talk with you. I said, yeah, I need him on the show. Mike, I think you remember me telling you, explaining, breaking that down. Like that was the initial reason why I wanted to sit down with you, because of that very first time.
Y'all found me on TikTok, right?
TikTok,
yeah. So yeah, man, it was just me thinking outside the box and just trying to, damn, what can I do to draw some attention to myself. I was reading this book called Contagious, and the book called Contagious, and it's why do things go viral? What catches on? And I got the idea. It was semi in the book, but I put the pieces together. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna go on Target. I'm gonna go on Walmart, put my clothes in there, and just walk around acting like my clothes in there. My brother called me and said, yo, I see your clothes in Walmart. I see your clothes at Target. And I'm just like, man, my clothes ain't in Target. I'm on my way. I'm about to go see if they in there. Walk around the store, like, oh, there they go right there. Oh, my shorts in there. Like, so just trying to be creative, man. Just trying to try to just have fun while I'm doing it too. You know what I mean? I get a lot of negative comments, but I try not to look at the negative comments, because I learned that people that's doing better than you or on the same level as you will never be negative. It's always the people that don't have nothing, or that's not doing nothing with themselves, that's not trying to make a change, that's being negative. So I try not to pay that no attention. I try to focus only on the people that saying you're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations. Like, I knew you can do it. You know what I mean? I try to focus on the positivity instead of the negative.
Mm-hmm. And what people fail to realize is, man, one of the rules of power is all publicity is good publicity, whether negative or positive. So every time you comment on my video, a positive message, you done boosted it. Every time you comment a negative comment, you still boosted me up. Every time you hit that thumbs down, you're still boosting me up. And thank you to all those people that are too stupid to realize that.
Right.
Your hate is really helping help me, at the end of the day. And people don't get it. I don't know if you ever read the 48 Laws of Power, but that is one of the rules of power, laws of power.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, man, haters, we love y'all too, cuz.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
They said you ain't doing nothing right if you ain't got no haters.
That part.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Brandon, do you do custom shirts for people, or you just stick to the brand?
No, I do custom orders for whoever. Like, people hit me up, yo, I need you to do this for me. I do them. Like, I'm hustling, you know what I mean? I ain't turning nothing down but my collar. You feel me? So sometimes I leave my collar up.
Running parallel to this long-standing debate we've had, me and this good brother over here, that's trying to always match me. So you can do both. You can have custom clothes and you can run a brand full time. And it's only you just doing it, right?
It's only me.
So how many customs would you say that you do? Is it something that's always coming at you, or is it just like every once in a while?
Every once in a while,
Oh,
I get more sales from my brand than I do customs.
got you.
So
But when they do come, like I'm doing them because I like to help people. You know what I mean? I want to help somebody start their brand. You know what I mean? I get a lot of DMs, yo, how you start this? Or I also do one-on-one consultation calls, free 15 minutes. People that call me, how you start your brand, what I need, and I'm giving them the information. I'm talking to them over via Zoom. You know what I mean? Just walking them through the steps.
Hey, Seek, that's my W right there.
actually, that wasn't.
That was a W.
That wasn't. I was
Why
about to bang the gavel on
was it
that.
not? How could it not?
Brandon, do you sell more clothing brand or do you sell more customs?
More clothing brand, my brand.
Would you repeat that, sir?
More my brand.
Let me put this
He still answered the question, though. He does both.
But
He's doing both.
But my thing is, he sells more of his clothing brand.
It doesn't matter which one he sells more.
It's a long thing debate where he says you can't run a clothing brand and run a custom business, right? So
I mean, you can't, but if like I need the money, so I ain't turning it down. Like I'm going.
He's in hustle mode right now.
You want 100 t-shirts? All right, I got you. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it, but it is hard to focus on your brand and focus on doing something for somebody else, because now you're not focused on you. You got to get this done. You leaving your stuff on the back burner.
So he's still in the hustle stage. He's still building his brand to where he needs his brand.
Hustle stage, but he's doing both.
Yeah.
But he's doing both.
But it's what I'm saying is one is gonna outweigh the other, no matter what. No matter how you try to spin this argument, my answer still stands. One is gonna outweigh the other.
I'm gonna say it's a W. Thank you. Appreciate you, Game Changer. You know what I mean? This is my W. You ain't gonna take that from me.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this right here. Let me go back. Anybody, I'm sorry for arguing on TV with this guy, but I gotta prove my point here. If you go back to every episode this has ever came up with, right? My argument has always been and always will be one is gonna outweigh the other. And you said you sell more what, brother?
My clothes than somebody else is doing something for somebody else.
You don't get no W on this. I still get the win. I mean, but if you want to be,
if you feel that way, you're entitled to have feelings.
Hey, brother. If you want to be a Cleveland Brown, if you want to be a Cleveland Brown,
what the Browns got to do with this? I'm gonna read this comment real quick. This says it's crazy how we don't put the trust in him. Our journeys has been laid out for us. We just need to follow the signs.
Man, period. Like sometimes we don't see the signs, man, because we're blinded by what's going on in the world.
We got so many distractions in our face.
Yeah. We were talking about the numbers. Like if we're in a room, like I'm in this little room, and it's 100 people here. That's a lot of damn people. But on the internet, 100 people is something that gets you laughed at.
Yeah.
Because
it's the mindset of how they look. It's the perceptions, how they perceive it. Once you change your mindset and you start looking at things different, you be like, oh man, I'm really winning for real.
Period.
Like I'm really winning for real. I'm.
Period. I just realized that. I used to feel bad, like man, but then I realized like that's a lot of people in essence. Yeah.
We're really winning for real. We're successful the minute we start doing what we love to do.
Period.
Success is not the way society says success is. That's not success. We're successful the minute we start doing what we love to do.
Period.
The minute you say yes and start moving in that direction, you're successful.
Period.
Shit, you're successful. Excuse my language, but you're successful every day you wake up. Every day you take a fresh breath of air, you're successful.
Man.
Wow.
Like we so rich and wealthy, we don't understand because we think that's money. It's not. That's what society said. Money is just an illusion for real. Money is just paper with a number on it that we give value to it. But if you take the number off of it, it has no value. The value is how you think.
Period.
The value is how you treat other people.
Period.
That's the real wealth and riches of this world.
Yeah.
It's not the money. We sit here chasing this money that doesn't mean nothing.
And we can't take it with us.
We can't take nothing with us. They said, we came in this world with nothing. We're going to leave this world with nothing. Everything that we got right now, we're on the profit side because we came with nothing. We're on the profit side. No matter what you got, we're winning because we came with nothing.
Right. Hold on, man. Excuse me right quick. I don't know. Somebody is beating on my door. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Man, you are dropping some gems on this episode, and we greatly appreciate that. To everybody that's out watching, man, hopefully y'all soaking this in. Gam3chang3r Clothing has been expressing to us several times that it's not just about money or the illusion of the money or the power of money. Without that belief in that money means nothing. And then, like you just said, we leave this world with nothing, the same way that we came in.
A man come in this world penniless. He leaves penniless. Yeah, it's cool for us to create generational wealth, but what happens when our child died before we die? Who we get the money to? So it's all an illusion. It doesn't make sense.
Wow.
People don't think about that.
No, they don't.
Who do we leave the money to when our family is gone? So it's all a psychological. It's just a psychological game out here. It's all mental. Everything is mental. Mind is everything, and everything is mind.
I could tell that you are speaking from the heart, from the soul, man. So I'm gonna bring this back up. You told us that you don't watch TV at all. Prior to when you was watching TV, do you notice all the differences in the time that you was watching TV compared to now?
Yeah. Like now, since I stopped watching TV, what I come to realize is the TV, one, it programs you. It has you living a life that's not your true life.
Yeah.
Because people are implanting thoughts in your mind and you're believing these thoughts. And once somebody could plant a thought in your mind, it can mess your whole life up. And that's what the government been doing, been planting thoughts in our mind through the internet, through the news, through the rap music.
Years.
And that's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to rap music no more because it plants thoughts in your mind and it has you acting in a certain way. That's not your true nature. And got you hating each other. That's not your true nature. So now that I stopped watching TV, I stopped reacting to things. I stopped being so upset. I stopped being angry. I stopped wanting worldly things. I really stopped wanting materialistic things.
My bad, man. That was my neighbor. They put my mail in his box, and so he had to beat on my door like the police. And my he could have just put it in my mailbox, but hey.
He wants to talk to you, man.
Yeah. But he now opened my door. I'm one of them. If you don't call first, I'll open my door. But he was just in there beating like the police. I didn't know.
If you look outside your body, what do you see?
Everything else.
What do you see when you're looking outside your body? everything somebody else made.
Yeah.
And they got rich off of it.
That's real.
We live in a universe full of abundance. Everything we use today, somebody got rich off of it.
Real.
So what are we going to create? Everything to the camera you on, to this iPad I'm on, to this shirt on my back, to this phone right here, to this coffee right here. Somebody created it and they got rich off of it.
That's
to the
real.
bed you sleep in, to the toilet you use, to the shower that you shower with, to the refrigerator you open, to the socks you put on your feet, to the drawers you put on your ass, somebody got rich off of it.
Period.
Period. But we don't come up with no ideas.
I think that it's conditioned, man.
It's conditioned. We was taught what to think and not how to think. They told us what we still got people thinking for us.
Right.
They told us what to think, not how to think for ourselves. We're creators. We're intelligent beings. We're geniuses. 96% of the world will never tap into their genius because they're too focused on things that's outside of their body. And the only thing that's outside of their body is things other men created. That they had to look within first to create it, to bring it outside their body.
Yeah, man.
96% of the world is looking outside of their body for answers. All the answers are inside of you. It's inside your mind.
Period. So you threw me off though, right? I'm gonna be real. You was like, "What do you see when you look outside your body?" In my head, I'm like, "Jesus!" Like I didn't know how to respond. Like, man, it got me right there. So I was like, "Oh, I guess I was overthinking in that moment." Like, man, that was a great way to present that.
That was.
But it's the truth though. Everything you looking at, somebody made it.
It is the truth. But
we don't make nothing ourselves and add value to the world. We just take from the world. We just take what the world offers us. But we don't add value to the world. We go work these jobs for 40 years in somebody else's dream, but we never create nothing and work at our own dream.
Right. That's real.
I think a lot of that though too has to do to the way that people was brought up. You know, that like the condition, like you said earlier, seeking, like what you've been hitting at Game Changer. A lot of people are used to that. All right, go get a job, go work in a steel mill. I mean, this was the earlier dream. Now the dream is become an entrepreneur. But before, it was like you need to make sure if you don't have no college degree, if you ain't no NFL player, if you ain't no basketball player, you need to make sure you hit that factory up and be there for a good 30 to 40 years so you can get a good pension or a good retirement or some type of social security at the end of that. So that's what people are raised.
And that's what they want us to do. They don't want us to be creators.
Nah.
You don't need a piece of paper to say you're smart. Like you're a genius. You're a human being. You're the highest evolution on this planet because you have a brain and a spinal cord. So we are the peak of evolution. Nobody is smarter than a human being. You don't need a piece of paper from a college that says you're smart. You was born smart. But we just conditioned. Our intelligence is working against us and it's not working for us. But once you unlearn and relearn all over again, and you start to use the power that's already within inside you, you just got to bring it out. You're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Period. That's real deal, man. And but the thing is really hard to uncondition yourself when you're conditioned to believe that you can't.
Yeah, it's the thought, it's the belief system. That's why the word said, "As you believe, so it may be done unto you." Because whatever you believe in, that's what your reality is going to be. And that's why I said, if somebody can make you believe a thought, it'll mess your whole life up.
Period. That's real. And I saw a comment somebody wrote that said we were all conditioned by 7. And that's real. I believe that because what our parents told us in those fundamental years is what we still believe now in our 30s, 40s, 50s, or however old we may be. That stuff from the first 6, 7, 8 years is really
important
to be into us. Yeah.
The first 7 years of a child life, they're in hypnotic stage, hypnosis stage. I mean, they soaking up they soaking up everything. They being programmed. If you could get a child from 1 to 7, you could by the time that if you could program a child from 1 to 7, like you can control that person's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that's what they've been doing since we came out of our mother's womb.
Period.
Like they know we're geniuses. So what they do as soon as we come out of our mother's womb, people start to teach us things that's not true.
Right.
We go to school for 12 years and they beat our brains up with things that's not true.
Right.
Wow.
Like that's it. It's all designed. This is how they created it for us to not know who we are.
Mm-hmm. I agree, brother.
We don't understand we geniuses. We don't understand we kings and queens. We think we just our name. Our name was given to you, but who are you besides your name?
So many people don't know.
It's crazy.
It's a when in reality, it's really hard for one person to look inside of self because we don't want to recognize our faults. We don't want to recognize our wrongdoings, our mistakes, our guilt, all that type of stuff too. So, and like you to bring back the meditation, that meditation is a way to look inside of self and help you see self for who it is, man. Like it was some years ago, I was on a reading about the Buddhists. The Buddhists, not that I believe in the religion, but their philosophies.
The way of life, yeah.
It made a lot of sense.
Make a lot of sense.
And like I feel like that and why I bring that up is because Buddhists teach you to search self before you look for an outside source.
Because everything happens from within. Life happens from within out, not out in. And 96% of us looking outside trying to find the answers. The answers are not in the world. The answers are inside of you. But all truth exists inside of us.
Yeah. That's real.
Not on the things around you. The things around you is just things man-made. So how is that any truth in that? That just came from their imagination.
Yeah. And the internet has deceived us to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
So like it's
videos and
it's like it's crazy, man. And people got these belief systems and they swear they right. They really sleepwalking. They're unconscious. They're not conscious and aware of where they at, who they are, and the powers that they have.
Period. That's real cool.
I'm gonna read some of these comments, gentlemen. Akina L. Once you are aware of all the stuff, it becomes unappealing.
Yeah. Yes.
Just know actually type, do you know you're an Hebrew Israelite?
Who that? Who Hebrew Israelite?
Just note, I'm not too sure. And Hebrew Israelite, I can't even go into. I don't know the full term to just go on full on it. T. Johnson, yep. Akina L. We were all programmed by the age of
7. Yeah. Go back to that last comment. Let me see that. We do create.
Other things.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a
read it out loud.
We do.
Oh shoot, my fault.
We said we do create. We created most of the things that's here. It's taken from us, and they make it theirs.
Yeah, that's real talk.
G6 Customs and Design. Social media does the same thing that it does.
Social media is a tool.
Yeah.
Social media is for networking. You could use social media constructively or destructively. Like we're using it constructively to reach the masses, to push a positive message. We're being more constructive on here. But a lot of people are using social media in a destructive way. They're not producing nothing. They're just consuming everything, taking all the negativity and following gossip pages and looking at pages about who got killed and all negative stuff. and that's programming them. And they holding the phone in front of their eye. Everything your eyes lay sight on, it puts the information in your mind.
Yeah, that's
That's why
real.
you got to be careful of what you watch, what you hear, who you talk to, the things that say that come out your mouth, the thoughts you think, the actions you take. You got to be careful of all those things. Like your thoughts is powerful, your words is powerful. God said it is, and it was so. Like you could speak a word and it could manifest right in front of your face if your belief is in it strongly.
Period. Period.
So a little clarification on the Hebrew Israelites, so-called African American, Native Indians, Latinos, Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speak of. We are the real Jews.
I believe the Bible said a Jew is not one outwardly, a Jew is one inwardly. God doesn't look at the outer appearance, he looks at your heart.
Yeah, man.
Wow. This is more informative than actually what I was seeking today. Not to downplay everything that we've learned on here, but you came through with a real message. And the message is like I said earlier to you. I know it's a daunting task to keep doing what it is that you're doing and not see no real numbers from it. But this is a microwave society. You're here for the long haul. And it shows in the way that you speak, the way that you carry yourself, and the way that you educate others. I don't know what. Okay, I guess we might have a scammer in here or something's going on.
Wow, wrong.
Stevie Knight been canceled. What's that? But I say all that to say this, man. For your children that's coming up underneath you that you're raising, you're definitely putting a message to them. And by the way that you move in your actions, do they not watch TV as well, or do you allow them to watch?
So when they come to my house, I don't have a TV, so there's no TV here. You know, I try to set rules at their mother house, but you know, their mother let them do what she lets them do. But once they with me, this is what I do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit down, draw, color. We're gonna be creative. We're gonna read a book. Like my two youngest girls, they like to meditate because they see me do it, so now they emulating me. Daddy sit there like this. Like he sit there like this with his eyes closed. Like, yeah, and they sit there for 20, 30 minutes, just sit there like this, meditating.
Yeah,
and then I just posted a video with my son, and it surprised me because I don't know if y'all seen the video where my son said, you got to believe it in your heart to make your dreams come true. Like that, it surprised me because it's rubbing off on him.
Yeah.
And he's speaking it he's speaking it like he know what he's saying.
Yeah, man.
So
That's
it's
a
like,
good thing, though. Teach them young.
Yeah.
Like, I never had a father to do that. I never had a father. Like I knew of my dad, but I didn't know my dad.
Me too, brother.
I knew his name, but I could probably count on my hand one time I actually went to the store with my dad. That was it. I spent more time with his mom than I did with him. Like I never had a dad growing up. Like I grew up with my grandparents. You know what I mean?
Me too.
My grandpa, he was old. He was working, so he really didn't have time to spend with me. And that's why I started to run to the streets. But if I had a father to instill in me some good information, like I believe my life would have turned out better. Not saying that my life is not good now.
Yeah.
Like, I probably wouldn't have had to go through everything I went through to get where I'm at now. You understand what I'm saying?
But man, everything happens for a reason. Everything is written. So this might be what it took. I mean, it not might be. This is what it took to get here.
Correct.
You know, you had to suffer through those adversities to be you. Because any other way, we'd be someone else.
Thanks.
You know, I ain't never had a father. I was raised with my grandparents and all this stuff too. So, but like if we didn't have all that, man, how would we could be on dope? Like, you know, like I'm gonna be real. I talk about street stuff a lot on here, but if you look at it, like if we would have had those people in our lives and the era that came within, it's highly likely they'd be on dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of it with a lot of that stuff was superseded just because of the times, the way the streets were, the way the life was in that era. So my wife calls me crazy when I say stuff like this because my mother died when I was young, and I was like, one day I was like, it's possible that she could have been on drugs just because of the time, and my life could have been worse off had it not went the way it went. I mean, and I definitely don't have no bed of roses. I didn't been to the joint and all the stuff, but I don't know, man. Who can say what would be better had we had those people in our lives, man? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense to y'all.
No, that make a lot of sense. Absolutely, that make a lot of sense.
Brandon, before we close this out and get up out of here, how can people get? I mean, first of all, the website for the clothes. Could you please let that go?
So my website is Gam3chang3r Clothing.com. It's just like it is where it says founder of Gam3chang3r Clothing. It's Gam3chang3rClothing.com. Everything one word. And that's my social media tags too. My Instagram, my TikTok. It's Gam3chang3r Clothing. The E's are 3s. My Facebook is Brandon Parsley. My Twitter is Parsley_L. My YouTube is Game Changer. My Snapchat is Game Changer GC3.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything Game Changer.
Make sure y'all tap in. Visit them on the different websites. If you want to support, go ahead and support. See, he's putting in the work for us. Fatherless home, just another comment to highlight. That's one of the Bible curses the children of Israel would have in Deuteronomy.
I don't get what he's trying to get at though. Like what?
I have no idea.
We're the Israelites, we're the Jews in the Bible, is what he's saying. The cursed ones in the Bible are black people, is what he's saying. I have an opinion on that, but I'm not.
Yeah, I got an opinion on that too, but I ain't going to share my opinion. I'm just. Yeah. We're gonna end this off on a good note.
Yeah, I don't want to lose no friends. No.
Yeah. Everybody got an opinion.
My opinion is not negative. It's just it might offend some people. So.
Yeah, definitely. I don't got a negative opinion, but I believe something different. So, everybody got their right to their opinion. Everybody got that right, and I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm not better than nobody. I'm not claiming to be better than nobody. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and everybody has their right to express how they feel, and I respect that. I'm not going to disrespect it.
Hey, see, this is a deep episode. I just want to highlight that this episode was deep. And I greatly appreciate you coming on, man, and basically, giving us a knowledge course. You didn't just come on here to speak about your brand. You came on here to inform us, and that you did in so many different ways. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to come out and speak to us, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you, Akina L. If y'all are new here, we here every Thursday. Man, we do this every Thursday. You don't know who might be sitting in this seat. And so y'all tell a friend to come subscribe, follow, do all the stuff. We're here. We will see y'all next week. Brandon, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for having me, brothers. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for letting me share my message. And I'm very humbled that you guys. Thank you for just joining me on my journey, man. It means a lot, man. From two brothers that I don't even know personally, you know what I mean? We met over the internet, and things could change for the good when we come together like this. So, man, I really appreciate it. 12 and Mike, man.
For sure.
From the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate it, man, for just letting me come on your platform to share my story and share my message, bro.
For sure. Appreciate you having a story to tell, brother.
Yeah, we're going to continue.
We will see you on next Thursday.
Yeah. Peace.